Welcome back to another episode of Start This Business YouTube channel, the My Rental Car Journey mini series. And today we are talking about my road to an all-star host. Now, some of you guys may be wondering what is an all-star host and why is that important and why am I making a video of it? If you're in the Turo industry, or even if you're not, even if you're just curious about it, an all-star host is kind of what the name sounds like. Like in professional sports, we know an all-star means you have been voted to the top. Like you're at the top of your game. You get the recognition that comes with being an all-star. In Turo, it's kind of the same thing. In Turo, you get a lot of perks and a lot of good things that come with being labeled as a Turo all-star host. So in this episode, I'm going to show you guys my status with only being in this business for a couple months, letting you guys know where I'm at as far as my road to being an all-star host, and going into detail on what I need to do to get there. So stay tuned. After this, we're going to get right into it, all right? And we're back. Once again, shout out to Carbon Club for the dope intro, man. Appreciate everything. Let's get right into it. Once again, the road to being an all-star host. Because as I mentioned in the intro, an all-star host is where you want to be as a Turo host. The reason why, some of the perks that you get as being an all-star host, the most important thing, actually, I'm just going to jump straight to the most important thing of being an all-star host is you're at the top. You're at the top of the listing. So, for example, since I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, when people search for cars in Atlanta, Georgia, my car is going to be one of the first cars that come to the top of the list. That's the perk that you get being an all-star host. Now, I will say, my way of kind of getting around that to start off with was, obviously I priced my car very low. And the reason I did that is so when people do search for cars and they do search relevance, a lot of times when people search for cars, rental cars, or actually anything, like this is, correct me if I'm wrong, I guarantee if you're watching this right now, you probably say, yeah, he's right. When you search for things, a lot of times you're going to search, that category is going to be from pricing lowest to highest. There's very rare people that search for things that go from highest to lowest. So for me, my thing was, let me undercut the market, put my car at a very low price, so when people do that search, my car is one of the first cars that show up. That's great. But now what Turo's actually doing too with the Turo hosting is, regardless of what your car is priced at, regardless of what type of car you have, Turo is going to list your car high up in their platform, so you're one of the first people that are being seen. The reason is, once you're an all-star host and you meet all the requirements, they kind of feel like you're reliable. They kind of feel like, okay, I know if we put him up here, he's going to be a good host where we're not going to have too many problems. So that's why you want to shoot for being an all-star host. Now, before I get started, obviously there are things like I mentioned that Turo looks into, and I'm going to show you guys on my page. But before we get started, obviously, just for clarity, want to make sure you guys know this is still me. This is my profile, nobody else's. As you can see, joined November 2021. So you guys see where we're at as far as this business and how long I've been in it. So the most important thing when you want to judge on being an all-star host is they have a tab where it shows your performance. So you want to click on your performance. And these right here is it. That these factors are what determines if you're an all-star host or not, or I guess what Turo declares if you're an all-star host or not. You got to meet these requirements. So I'm going to go through them. I'm going to go through each one of them so you guys get better understanding and know how it's not as difficult as it may sound, but this is exactly what they look for, and these are the measurables that you want to meet and want to pay attention to when you first start this business, so that you can be on your road to an all-star host. So as you can see, there's really like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 measurables that they look at. Now, when we look at these measurables, again, I'm gonna go down each one individually. All these measurables aren't determined basically, like there's some measurables that are determined based on how many trips you actually have. And then some of them are based on the percentages of the trips that you have. So that's why it's important too to kind of, understand that and know which ones are which, so that you can get an idea of exactly what you need to do. So let's start with the first one. So the first one is going to be the response rate. So as it says, an all-star host needs 95%. In mine, obviously I'm 100%, but you need to have above 90%. It says that it shows that I responded to 14 out of 14 requests. So response rate is basically anytime anybody requests your car, how do you respond to them? Do you, whether it's positive or negative, do you actually respond to these people? Or are you talking to the people that request your car? To Turo, that's a big thing. Obviously, someone wants to rent your car. They don't want to wait 2 or 3 days or a week to get a response. They want a response rate. They want to know something. So again, that's why that's important as far as being an all-star host. So as you can see, I'm at 100%. All you need is 95%. The next one is the acceptance rates. The acceptance rates, you have to be at a 90%. Same thing, you can see I accepted 14 out of 14 requests. Once again, this is not has anything to do with I need to have a certain amount of trips. It's just that I'm accepting majority of my trips that come in. Why is that important? Because again, Turo is a platform about making money. Like Turo doesn't have no, they have their protection plans that they have, but Turo really, you have the asset. Like Turo doesn't have an asset in the game. Like they're using your car. So in order for them to keep making money, they need to make sure that their top performers or people that are actually accepting requests. They don't want to be a platform known to have a whole bunch of cars that they're listing and nobody's responding to them or nobody's accepting the request, because obviously that's bad for business. So for them, their little perk to, to make it one of those things that work for both of you guys is, hey, if you accept 90% of your requests, we're going to put you at the top of the list. So that's why you always want to keep on top of your acceptance rate. And again, that's why it's important. If your car is not working and it's not drivable, then make your car inactive. Do not leave your car on the platform if you know your car is not working, or if you know, like, if you're actually using your car, like if this is your personal car, not a car you just got for this business, and you know you're gonna be using your car, then you definitely want to make sure that you're blocking out the time that you're gonna use it for, so that's not affecting your acceptance rate. You know what I mean? On your way to being an all-star host. So that's important as well. Commitment rate. All-star host needs 95%. You honor 14 out of 14 trips. Again, that's similar to the acceptance, because here's a big thing. Now, just because you accept the trip does not necessarily mean that you'll go through with the trip. Like, you can accept the trip all day, but until someone actually gets your car, takes it, and leaves with it, it's not considered an acceptance. So a commitment. So the commitment is, actually committing through to the trip. So as you can see, again, you need 95% of those. Once again, I'm at 100%. We keeping that thing 100. So I'm at 100%. All right. The next one, your 5-star rating. That's huge. Now, a lot of you guys probably seen some shows or, things where people are always walking around looking for that rating. Hey, can you submit my review? Can you submit my review? Like that, you hear that a lot. Even when you call major corporations, and after the end of every single call, there's a survey. This is something similar. However, we get judged on it as Turo hosts based on where they're gonna put you as your performance. So for example, you need 90% 5-star ratings. That means, once again, out of all the people who rent your car, 95% of those people need to give you 5 stars. Customer service. Again, not hard to think about when you think about Turo's aspect and how they operate. Again, for them to make more money, they need to make sure they put in the top performers in front. They're not going to put their lower performers at the top of the list. They're going to put their bottom performers at the very bottom, just like any lineup or any roster if you're playing sports. So in this situation, they're looking like, hey, I need my all-star people to be at 90% 5-star. That means, again, 90% of their renters are saying these people are top of the line. These are good renters. These are people that you need to rent from. Good qualified hosts. So as you can see, once again, you need 90% of that. I got 100%. I got, out of 9 trips, I've received 9 5 stars, which is good, which is very good. Once again, I'm still new to this. There's people that's got 500, 1,000, 2,000, 100 trips. You know what I mean? Where again, obviously not all those people are gonna give you 5 stars. So I'm still new to it, but it's good that, me being new, that I still got 9 5 stars out the gate. Again, this is not all my renters. As you can see, I've had like 14 trips. So again, everybody's not gonna vote your car. Everybody's not gonna review you. As much as you ask, like, hey, can you give me a review, please? And as much as you may go out your way to make sure that that person's experience was great, they still may not rent your car. That's why it is important. And I'm gonna tell you, like, if you guys seen in my review renter, well, I had to ask her like multiple times, can you review my car, please? Can you review my car, please? It's important because again, it helps you as far as you making more money. So again, don't let the pride thing get in the way. This is helping. This is a business for you. You're trying to make more money, and to be more money, make more money. You want to be an all-star host. So if I need to get more 5-star reviews, best believe every single time someone drops my car off, I'm gonna ask for that review. So again, as you can see, 5-star ratings. I got 100%, 9 out of 9. The last one. This is the only one that determines how many trips that you actually take. Okay, like all of them are based on percentages. This one right here, like this one, you can't get around unless you make a certain amount of trips. As you can see, completed trips. To be an all-star host, you need to have 10 successful trips. You're going to look at it because you're going to see 11 right now. And yes, I'm above that, the 10 that you need. So, but again, the most important thing is to understand is this is the only one where you need a certain amount of trips. So if you can get 10 trips and you can meet all these other requirements and it just be a percentage where, you know, your percentage is favorable, you're in a very good situation actually because you're on your way to being an all-star host. Now, I am going to tell you how and why, because if you look at these numbers, as I'm showing you guys, you probably, you know, I'm not an all-star host. And if you look at these numbers, you'll probably be like, why aren't you an all-star host? Because you meet all the requirements. And even in this bottom one, you got 11 completed trips over 10 trips. And you're still not an all-star host. So let me go ahead and get to that for you guys so you guys understand. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit more. So, of course, now the $1 million question is, Eric, if you meet all these requirements that they're asking for, why aren't you an all-star host right now? And that's because, I mean, yes, I do meet all the requirements, but that's because of this one simple thing right here on the right. As you see, the next assessment date is April 15th, 2022. Unfortunately, Turo has a 3-month assessment process. So every 3 months, they assess your Turo host profile to see if you can qualify to be an all-star host. So as you can see, since my next assessment isn't until April 15th, that means my last assessment was January the 15th of 2022. So let me show you exactly why this sucks for me. Because as you can see from my rentals, the times I had my car rented, if I would have had this 1-day rental from Charles, who is from January 19th to January 20th, if Charles would have rented my car 4 days earlier or 5 days earlier for that same amount of time, I would now be an all-star host. I would now, this video would be completely different because I would be saying, hey, look how I became an all-star host so quickly after being in this business in November. Look how soon I'm already all-star host. But because I was like 4 days off. And man, when I tell y'all how much it sucked realizing how close I was to being an all-star host, like my first 3 months in the business, and I was just like 5 days short, it sucks. But again, this is a learning experience because I didn't know. Like, I really didn't know. If I would have known, and again, this is my fault. It being the first time host, I wasn't paying attention to that stuff. So if I would have known that I had like January 15th was my cutoff date, I would have probably, I'm not gonna even lie, bro. I probably would have rented my own car just to be an all-star host. Like, I would have rented my own car or find a friend and say, hey, I'll cash app you the amount to rent my car for 1 day, and I'll cash app you the amount just so I could be an all-star host, because I know long term, like for the next 3 months, I know what that would have done for me financially. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a little like shady, or you can say it's shady, but I promise you I would have done it because I was just one rental away. It doesn't matter if they rented even for 1 day. I was just one rental away from being an all-star host my first 3 months in the business. So unfortunately, you know, again, I'm not gonna spend too much time thinking about, you know, how close I was. Now I know that my next assessment date is going to be April 15th. So the next best thing for me to do is just prepare myself. Keep knocking out these rentals. Keep making sure I'm doing what I've been doing for these first 3 months. And then when that time comes, you know, obviously just make sure I'm in position. And by that time, I should be in position. Unless, again, knock on wood, something unfortunate happens. My car will be in position because I got all the requirements met. Again, we're going to try to keep everything at 100% because, you know, I like everything 100. So we're going to try to keep everything at 100%. So, you know, by the time my next assessment does come around, I am now put into that all-star host category, so I can brag about it. But at the same time, the most important thing is my car is going to be listed at the top of the platform when you come and look for cars in Atlanta. So again, I just want to show you guys, just a little bit of, how close I was too. Like, I've only been, again, you guys seen the entire journey, but how close I was to being an all-star host within my first 3 months of this business. However, I'm not going to let that, deter anything I'm doing or, make it a huge deal or bigger than what I was. Yes, it sucks, but we are going to prepare myself and get ready for my next assessment, which is going to be April 15th. So stay tuned. We're going to be tracking that, and hopefully, like I said, everything stays the same. We want to make sure that these numbers and we like to keep 100s. Like, we like to say 100%. So anytime we see these 100% are good, and we're going to try to keep that. So take a screenshot. Take a mental screenshot of what it looks like now. Again, this is now February. You guys can see the screenshot. And this is February 4th. So hopefully by April 15th, like, these are still all 100%. And this number is even like doubled or quadrupled by that time. So we're going to see. But again, I want to break down the all-star host and let you guys know the importance of it. And to show you guys how close I am to being an all-star host with just my first time in the game. So I appreciate everybody staying tuned. Again, please like, subscribe, and just follow this channel or share this channel to anybody that you know that may find some value from this. It may not be you, but you may know someone that can find some value for this information that's in this channel. So make sure you share it to anybody that can, and stay tuned for the next episode. All right? See y'all next time. Peace. Welcome back to another episode of Start This Business YouTube channel. This is the My Rental Car mini series, and today we are talking about Welcome back to another episode of Start This Business YouTube channel. This is the My Daily Rental Car Journey mini series. The My Rental Car Journey mini series. Welcome back to another episode of Start This Business YouTube channel. This is the My Daily Rental Car Journey mini series. My Daily Rental Car Journey mini series, or My Rental Car Journey Daily mini series.